Oh, oh, just me. Sorry, sorry. Sup? If you're into dudes, who knows anymore, right? So, look at this. We're still live, people. We're still live. If you do know how the market works, you know one thing: any strength crushes UVXY. So, just because you witnessed UVXY go from 22 to 60, remember, it's over. So the idea now is that all it does is go down. So the only way is down. So these last 3 days, why was it strong? Like, why was it relatively strong? Because people were thinking the Jackson Hole speech was going to do something. Everything's priced in, folks. Whatever, and again, we know that whatever happened on August, whatever that date was now, was it 10 days ago now, 20 days, 15 days ago, was bullshit. I spoke to hedge fund guys. Nobody knows exactly what it was all about. They gave it a name so nobody would even, you can't even question it because nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. The yen carry trade. Uh-huh. Right. Exactly. No one even knows what that means. Nobody cares. It was a coordinated attack on complacent short vol traders and people who had long-term positions with stops on the QQQ and the SPYs. That's all it was. We saw it coming, and now it's over, right? So UVXY now has zero value. It did what it had to do. You had unprecedented VIX rip. UVXY got to 65 or 70 bucks. It's over now. So now it reverts. And what's the reversion? Zero. It has zero value, right? So now the VIX has collapsed. This thing has to revert to zero. So anytime you see it up, you know it's going to go back down. And the only reason I got blown out of that position was because I ran out of money. I went over my head. The one rule that I said I shouldn't, nobody should ever do, because when I talk about UVXY, what do I say? You cannot lose money shorting this over any extended period of time unless you get a margin call. Don't do that. So if I wouldn't have gone with 12,000 shares and 2,700, sorry, 270 naked calls and 12,000 shares short, none of that would have happened. But I was overextended, and then the phone rang, and I was forced to cover. And let me tell you something. If it would have went one more day, then I would have been broke. Like, I would have had to sell homes and everything, and borrowed money, and had a, it would have been. That's why Schwab wouldn't let it get there, because I wasn't going to pay up. Was Schwab going to sue me for the money that I owe them? They're never going to get money out of me, so they knew that. If I go broke, there's no way they're getting paid, so they forced me out of the position. And if it would have went again, and here's the thing. Now that I've sat back and analyzed it, what I should have done was made some phone calls Sunday night while I was being attacked, and asked to and borrowed the money, because it is guaranteed to go back down. So sure, let's say it would have went to 120, would have been down about $4 million, but inevitably it goes down. So if it would have went, I was factoring in that it could go tenfold. So 220, right? So at 220, I would have been down 12 million. 220 would have been down like $12 million. But if someone would have lent me the 12 million to double up, we would have made 16 million on the position. So no matter what, if I just had a few friends with some liquidity that I could have talked to Sunday night, none of this would have happened. And that's why I really still think it was a coordinated attack on me personally. That's what's so sick. It's the market. All right, they knew I was short all this UVXY. They knew I had the naked calls. They knew I wasn't going to be around for 2 days, and they knew I was hitting the road. Everything that happened over the last 15 days, it's me. guaranteed to this day, to this moment. So today, right? So here's what we just did. And again, this is what's so sick, right? I know what I'm doing. I never should have over leveraged on a UVXY position. Here's how you make money shorting UVXY. So you know it's going down. You know it disintegrates on Fridays, right? So here's what started out with the 2350 puts. They're down at a nickel, 2350 puts. You know UVXY collapses on Fridays. I know it. Everybody knows it. Any stability in the market, UVXY will disintegrate on a Friday. It's buy the calls. I mean, buy the puts. So we wound up buying these at 14, and they went to 50 cash. But if I would have put $250,000 into that trade, probably wouldn't have worked. So going back to my plight, anytime I go big, I lose. But if I stay within my means, I win. And that's why I'm still in this business, right? So after making the 15 to basically 40, and then the UVXY tried to show some support, we went and bought the lotto tickets, the 23s. So the 23s were sitting here at a penny. We didn't get them at a penny, but we wound up buying them at 3. Next thing you know, they're up to 14. We're selling. And then we got stopped out at 8 on the way back down. And then we did it again. Didn't get them at a penny. Wound up getting them at 4, right? Sold some at 8 and 12. Boom. Next thing you know, back to the 8. And this time I didn't get the options, I wish I would have been sick. But look how the option eventually got to 31 cents. So if you think about it, if you would have got them at 3 and just held on with the idea that they were going to pull back to the 2250 was the plan. We didn't get there exactly, but that's 10 times your money right there. And that's just one trade. Oh, by the way, I took my first loss of the week on this. And here's the sickest thing in the world, right? That's me right here, right? I bought it as it was coming. It hit the multi-day VWAP and then made a turn. I top ticked it right there. Got stopped out for a small loss, a little bit more of a loss, and a little bit more of a loss. And then it never got to the low of the day, but I already got smoked. And of course, it comes all the way back. Didn't have to take the loss. And then just to make matters worse, it spikes to the price where I was hoping to sell it way back over here. So again, this is why it's so painful. And if you could sustain yourself, not just money, the pain, if you can get through the pain and frustration and anguish and awfulness and these days where nothing really works for you, you got to remember, if something works most of the time, every once in a while, it's not going to work. You can't let those days convince you that what you've been doing doesn't work, because I went right back to trading earnings reports on VWAP like AAP yesterday. Come on. Never traded this stock in my life. Gets smacked down on earnings, breaks the blue line, goes to the orange line for 6 points. How you doing? And then workday today. How you doing? Just not a bad trade. I don't buy stocks that are gapped up. Breaks the VWAP there. You got paid. Don't want to be short into the open. Next thing you know, here comes the open, chops around. You get another chance at it, 360, 350. You got down to 357, 50, and 355. So if you just stick with the trades that work most of the time, you should come out ahead. But I just want to say have a great weekend. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Come on back. I didn't get any trials out this week because I wasn't feeling so well Wednesday night and Thursday afternoon. I'll get the emails out to you guys. You'll start the trial next week. And hopefully it's as good as this week was. But here's what I'm going to tell you right now. It probably won't be as good as this week. We're going into Labor Day weekend. Nobody should be here on Friday. If the market crashes on Friday, so be it. Nobody trades the Friday before Labor Day weekend. Nobody trades even the Tuesday after Labor Day weekend. Trading starts again, the real activity usually, again, this is just usually, and again, I'm already baffled at how much activity there was this week. This is usually a slow week. Next week's even slower into Labor Day weekend. And then you've got, what days are we talking about? We're talking about So we got Monday will be, yeah, I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we'll still have some activity. Thursday we'll start to wind down. Friday nobody's going to be here. Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day weekend. Monday the market's closed. We come in Tuesday. You probably, everybody's raring to go after Labor Day weekend. Not really. Everybody's hungover. So activity begins again September 4th. And then we'll see what's up. All right. And then I'll see you on September 10th at the Jane's Addiction concert. September 11th, I take the day off. September 12th, Rainbow Kitten Surprise at River Radio City. Then we got Jets opening day, the All-Star Charts event in Chicago. And then we got Airborne Toxic event. We got Yacht Rock Review. And then my wife's going to Portugal, party at my house for 2 weeks. All right. Y'all have a great weekend. Be careful. And don't leverage yourself on any position. Don't ever go all in, because if you go all in and that's the one trade that doesn't work, you'll be all fucked up like me. All right. I love you. Have a great weekend.